Welcome to this explainer, everyone. We're jumping right into a topic today that honestly causes a lot of anxiety for folks, but is just deeply, deeply misunderstood. Most people think credit cards are the literal reason they're drowning in debt. It's a super common belief. But here's something kind of crazy we're going to unpack today. Wealthy people use credit cards every single day, literally all the time. So if there's such a trap, why do the most financially successful people rely on them so heavily? Well, the secret is all in how they're used.
Okay, let's dive into this. The difference in behavior is actually incredibly simple, but it completely changes the whole financial outcome. See, one approach treats the credit card like an expansion of your income, like buying things you simply can't afford right now. And yeah, that definitely leads to trouble. But the contrasting wealthy mindset, they treat the card strictly as a financial tool to build upon. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how successful people use credit cards to build wealth, boost their credit scores, and maximize free rewards, all without ever falling into that nasty debt trap.
We're going to walk through 5 specific rules today to get you there. Rule 1, the wealthy credit mindset. Rule 2, maximizing free rewards. Rule 3, building excellent credit scores. Rule 4, systems over willpower. And finally, Rule 5, using debt to invest.
All right, kicking things off with Rule 1, the wealthy credit mindset, which means you never ever treat credit as free money.
Let's get this straight. Credit cards are tools for convenience and rewards. They're absolutely not loans for everyday living. The strict, unbreakable rule successful people follow is simply this. If they can't pay the full balance at the end of the month, they just don't buy the item, period. They don't stretch their budget just because a high credit limit says they can. By holding firm to this mindset, they immediately neutralize the absolute biggest danger of credit cards, which is compounding interest.
Moving right along to Rule 2, maximizing free rewards, or basically getting paid for your everyday spending.
2 to 5%. Wealthy individuals are super strategic here. They use specific credit cards that give them 2 to 5% cash back on purchases they were literally going to make anyway. Think about it. Your groceries, your gas, your utility bills. If you're paying for all that stuff with a debit card or cash, you're getting exactly 0% back. By funneling normal budgeted expenses through a rewards card, you're effectively giving yourself a 2 to 5% discount on your entire life. And this brilliantly illustrates how it's not just straight cash back either. Millionaires absolutely love leveraging these programs for massive travel points, free hotel benefits, and sweet access to airport lounges. When you put all of your normal expenses on a card, these everyday perks effortlessly add up to thousands of dollars in free value over just a single year. It's like free money left on the table if you're not doing it. So how do you guarantee you win this game every single time? Well, you follow a really strict 4-step loop. Step 1, spend normally. Notice I didn't say spend more to get rewards, I said spend normally. Step 2, pay the balance in full at the end of the month. Step 3, collect your rewards. And Step 4, the absolute most crucial one, never pay interest. If you leave a balance and get hit with interest, the cost of that interest will instantly wipe out any cashback or points you just earned. Stick to this loop though, and the math is always in your favor. All right, on to Rule 3, building excellent credit scores. This is all about turning your credit into an actual asset.
Having a strong credit score is incredibly valuable because it literally saves you real money. Wealthy people totally understand that an excellent score unlocks cheaper mortgage rates, significantly lower insurance costs, and way easier approvals for loans when they actually need them. To build and maintain that asset, they follow a few specific mechanics. First, they keep their credit utilization low. That means they don't max out their cards. They only use a tiny percentage of their available limit. Second, they always pay on time. And third, they maintain a long credit history by keeping older accounts open. It perfectly demonstrates how everyday financial discipline creates massive financial opportunities down the road.
That brings us to Rule 4, systems over willpower. Let's talk about automating your financial success. Just because a credit card company gives you a massive limit doesn't mean you should actually use it. The common trap people fall into here is lifestyle inflation. Subconsciously, a lot of us increase our spending as our credit limits or our incomes go up. But rich people, they don't do this. They keep their lifestyle in check. When their limits go up or they start earning more, they don't go out and buy bigger, flashier things. Instead, they invest the difference. Their ultimate goal is building assets, not building bigger monthly bills.
I absolutely love this quote from our source material. Systems beat willpower every single time. It hits the nail on the head. Successful people know that humans are, well, emotional and forgetful. So they just completely remove emotions from their money management.
They set up automatic payments for their credit cards to make sure the balance is paid in full every single month. By putting it on autopilot, they avoid late fees entirely, they avoid interest charges entirely, and they bring their financial stress down to zero. The system does all the heavy lifting, not their willpower.
And finally, Rule 5, using debt to invest. This is where you make your money actually work for you.
Because look, not all debt is equal. Bad debt is when you borrow money to buy things that lose value over time, clothes, TVs, or putting expensive vacations on a credit card. Good debt, on the other hand, is money you borrow to help create income or build wealth. So the crucial point is this: rich people aggressively avoid carrying bad debt, like expensive credit card balances, because that high interest absolutely destroys their financial returns. But they will use good debt carefully and strategically to get ahead.
By utilizing those rewards, securing lower interest rates through high credit scores, and automating their disciplined spending, these folks free up a really significant amount of extra cash every single month. Which leads us to a fascinating question: what do wealthy people actually do with all that saved money?
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that the money doesn't just sit in a checking account doing nothing. The goal isn't just to save money, it's to make that money work for them. They deploy their freed up cash into specific investment vehicles that generate real returns. We're talking buying index funds and ETFs to grow their wealth in the stock market. They're investing in starting or scaling businesses. They're purchasing real estate. They take all those thousands of dollars saved and earned through smart credit card usage and funnel it directly into wealth generating assets.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to remember that credit cards aren't inherently good or bad. They're simply tools. Used carelessly without a solid plan, yeah, they can create years of painful debt. But used wisely with strict rules in place, they can actively help you build wealth. The only real difference between a tool and a trap comes down to your discipline and your financial education. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Are your current financial systems working for you, or are you working for them?